Our dessert today is extra special. It's a cheesecake made with Cadbury Eggs, an Easter favorite, and topped with a special bunny surprise, a little bunny truffle on top. So what we gotta do first is we have to get 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, and they are at room temperature. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna speed this up on your food processor and make sure it's super creamy. And you're going to also want to add 1 8-ounce package of sour cream as I splash it all over the place. Now that our cream cheese and sour cream are super creamy, we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Now usually with my cheesecake recipes I add 2/3 a cup sugar, but we have a really sweet topping that's going to go on top of this, and we don't want that sugar to be too overwhelming and too sweet. Next we are going to add about 1/4 of a cup of creme de cacao, which is chocolate liqueur, and about a teaspoon of vanilla extract to our mixture. Next we need our eggs. So these are 2 egg yolks and 4 whole eggs, and the best way to get the cheesecake to turn out with absolutely no cracks, especially if you're doing a big cheesecake, is to make sure you add each egg one at a time and that eggs are also room temperature like the cream cheese. So what I have here, I have 10 of the full-size eggs, and I'm going to use, these are a dozen, but you're going to want to use 2 dozen of the mini eggs. So with the full-size ones, you're going to have to get your knife out, and we're going to cut kind of pieces out of this and throw them in there and then mix them all together. So we have some cupcake wrappers here in pretty little pastel colors. So what we're going to do with these mini eggs is each one of these is going to get their own little mini egg, so it's an extra little Cadbury surprise on the inside of each of these. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so delicious. So you're going to want to just take a spoon and fill up your cavities, making sure that you get all of that goo in there. I filled up our cheesecakes, making sure that I move the egg around so it doesn't end up super on the bottom of each cup. And I also make sure I didn't fill them too full so they don't overflow. So some tricks with cheesecake, one of the things that I do is I put a water bath with the cheesecake. So some people, what they do is they actually put the cheesecakes in water, but I don't really like that, and I think it works just as well if you just put a pan inside the oven with hot water in it, and the steam is going to help moisten the cheesecake and keep it super yummy and super moist. So another trick is to make sure that you do not open the oven while the cheesecakes are cooking. That also can cause cracks. So we're going to pop these in the oven, take them out, and then they're going to be in the fridge overnight cooling off. It's time to do the frosting for our cheesecakes, and we are actually going to incorporate some of the flavors of Peeps into our cupcake with some marshmallow buttercream. So what you're going to do is start with 2 sticks of butter, room temperature, and 1/4 of a cup of vegetable shortening. You're going to make sure that's super creamy. Next we're going to add about a cup of marshmallow fluff to start. And more like a 1.5 cups. Come off the spoon. Into our mixture. Now, the marshmallow is going to be super sweet, so you'll have to be careful how much powdered sugar you put in so it doesn't end up being overly sweet. We may not even need much powdered sugar. So mix that on in. Now I usually put a little vanilla in my buttercreams, but because the marshmallow is already super strong flavor, we're going to leave it out this time. But we are going to need about a cup of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, to get our frosting to kind of come together. Now the next step is to green it up, because this is going to be the grass on top of our little cupcake that our bunny is going to go on to. Now for our frosting for our little cheesecake cupcakes, I have put it in a pastry bag, and this is actually a grass tip or a hair tip, specifically made to look like grass or hair. So what I did is they have little dips in the center, which is fine because you're going to cover them up anyway. And I just took some of the frosting and kind of filled that in. And how you're going to want to do this is do little short glob like that, and they should stick up just like grass. To make our bunnies for our top of our little cupcakes, we're going to make some chocolate truffles. So I have some semi-sweet chocolate here, and it is over a double boiler, which is just a pot with some water. And what we're going to do is we're going to melt this chocolate with a couple of tablespoons of heavy cream, and then we were going to roll them into truffle balls. So with the cream, it's kind of an eyeball thing. If you feel like the chocolate is getting too thick, you can add a little bit more cream. If you think it's getting too runny, add more chocolate. What I did with our chocolate is I waited for it to cool and harden up a bit in the fridge, and then I rolled them into little balls. So these are our bunny heads. We're going to need some ears for our bunnies. So I used some graham crackers. Now how I did this is a trick in order to use graham crackers. If you pop them in the microwave for 30 seconds, they're going to soften up enough that you can use cookie cutters or cut them in shapes or whatever you want to do. So I actually cut them into little bunny ears. So before we get these cooled off and even more fixed up in our freezer, we're going to stick those in like so. And then this whole little bunny head is going to go into the freezer once we're done with all of them. Our little bunnies have been in the freezer overnight hardening up, and I also had to reinforce this one with a little white chocolate onto our graham crackers just to keep those ears in place. So what I have here is our little double boiler, which is just hot water with a little steam going on our candy coating. Now this works a little bit better than white chocolate. I tried the white chocolate on these and it was scary. It was not good. So anyway, we're just going to coat this all over. Be very careful. They're kind of fragile. Just get all sides, and then you just kind of want to shake a little bit, get some of the excess to come off so it's not too globby, and the globs will fall down eventually. There you go. Beautiful. And you want to use some non-stick paper to put these on top, maybe some parchment. So I just have some aluminum foil on here. I'm going to let it kind of get into place. So before it cools completely, you're going to want to add some nose to our bunny. So this is a pink jelly bean, little tiny pink jelly bean that you're going to want to stick on there. Shove it on in there. And then we have these cute little candy eyeballs that you can get at your little craft store. I'm going to stick on our little second candy eyeball. Kind of crazed looking bunny. I like it. He's scared. He's a scared bunny. So we're going to let him cool and harden up, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do next before we stick him on our cupcake. So our bunny has hardened up, so now we have to go in and do some really cute details. So I have some more candy coating here that is pink. And so you could use a little small brush or even a pastry bag. I'm just going to use a knife here. And if I need to, I can just work it with my fingers. But you're just going to get a little bit of pink on the center of each of the ear. And make the little insides of the ears. Oh, that looks really, really cute. So I'm going to let him harden a little bit right here. And I'm going to get our next step with him ready. So I have some black food coloring gel on a little tiny brush. We're going to do a little detail work. So just be really careful because this isn't going to dry completely on the chocolate. So if you touch it, you're going to smear it. So we're going to do a little cute bunny mouth. Now, if you think this is too much for you, you can leave the bunny without a mouth. He'll still look like a bunny. He'll still look cute. But I'm going to do some whiskers on either side. Alright, he's looking really good. Now it's time to put him on our cupcake. Now it's time to assemble our cupcake. So what we're going to do first is we've got to put our bunny on. So just be careful you don't touch that black section. And I'm going to put him kind of in the back. Right, like that. Squish him down in there. And then the bunny needs some hands. So these little candy coating pieces are great because they come in a little round shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it in half like that and cut it in half one more time. And these are going to actually be little bunny paws. Really super simple. You could use white chocolate chips if you want to. And then I found these really neat gummy carrots at a specialty food store. So that's going to go right there on the front. Now I have a bunch that are already made. If you think this is too crazy, too much for you to do, here's another option. So this is basically just the bunny ears. It looks like the bunny is in the grass hiding, and we have little jelly beans as his eggs. Or you could even do it even more simple and just do little jelly bean eggs on the top. So this is a great way to plate this up. So I have them all in a little Easter basket, and I do have a little box underneath our Easter basket to keep them in place so they don't sink. So now I think we are all ready for our Easter party. Alright, I'm giving up carrots. That dessert is amazing. Our delicious cocktail today involves an Easter staple, which is Peeps. And they come in many, many colors now. Purple, blue, pink, yellow, whatever you want. I picked pink because I think it works with the color scheme of this cocktail. So, first of all, we're going to start with some pineapple juice. So we're going to fill 2 parts pineapple juice. And a little bit more. And then we're going to do some coconut rum, whatever flavor is best for you, whatever brand. Coconut rum. A little bit of creme de cacao. And then last but not least, this stuff is strong, but it's delicious. It's marshmallow fluff flavor vodka. Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing. So we're going to take that and we're going to shake it in our cocktail shaker. I have an awesome way to show off this cocktail today, and it's some amazing Easter grass. It's your own homemade Easter grass that's edible. So it's basically just toasted coconut with some green food coloring and then stuck on our glass with some marshmallow fluff. So you get extra marshmallow flavor. So we're going to pour this on the inside here. So we get a little bit of a yellow color, and that's why I chose the pink Peep. And you know what? He's just going to float like a little rubber ducky on the top of our cocktail until he sinks. And there you have it. Fabulous Easter cocktail, our little Peeps cocktail. Delicious. You know, after a long, hot Easter day of delivering eggs, I'm going to need myself a drink.